So today we're going to be talking about the 7 benefits of a semi-retired life. Coming up next. Hi everybody, my name is Dee Burks and this is Retirement Rescue, where we talk about how to make money, save money, and create a retirement from nothing. Well, I am currently semi-retired, so I can really speak to this subject because there are some huge benefits to semi-retiring before you actually retire. One of the things people often say who semi-retire is that they wish they'd have done it sooner. That's how I feel. I could have done it sooner. I just didn't realize it. I really hadn't put numbers on a page. I hadn't really thought about how it would change my life. I did not have a big fat retirement. And you know, mainstream media tells you, well, you've got to have this big cushy retirement. You've got to work up until the day of your funeral otherwise. Oh my gosh, you can never retire. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. You can semi-retire and enjoy all those things that are great about retirement while still earning enough to cover your expenses. The first benefit, of course, is freedom. After all those years of working so hard and saving money or just working, I was just working, being semi-retired has allowed me to pursue things I've always wanted to pursue, whether that be business ideas like a YouTube channel, writing a book, painting pictures, whatever it is. Having that time is such a gift. And even if you work part-time or start your own business or whatever, getting out of that 9 to 5 rigor allows you to really do things while you're still young enough and healthy enough to do them. So that's number 1, is freedom. Number 2, it allows you time to declutter and downsize. If you eventually want to retire, you want to move somewhere when you retire fully, you want to move next to kids, you want to do something else, you want to maybe move to Florida or to the mountains like I did, it is a great way to go ahead and start getting rid of things. You don't have to do it all at once the day you retire, because that is overwhelming. If you semi-retire, you have the time, energy, and money to start selling things you don't need, get rid of things you don't want, get everything downsized, and have plenty of time to do it. You're not pressured to get all of that done because now you're, quote, retired. Number 3, and this is a big one, money. If you try to retire full-time, people are sometimes surprised at how much money it still takes to live. By easing into retirement and still earning a partial income, that allows you to really adjust to that new retirement income lifestyle. And let me explain what I mean. You know, when you sit down and do the math on what money you're going to have in retirement, or what money you currently do have in retirement, and you're drawing down money that you've saved, if you have a little bit of income, even a little, to support that, whether that be seasonally or a part-time job that you can work whenever, then it makes it easier not to use that money as quickly. And with retirement savings, time really works for you. And that extra few years when you're semi-retired or you're still working part-time, it allows that money to continue growing. Whereas if you were taking all of that money out, as much as you needed to live and pay all of your expenses, it drains your resources much faster. And doing that on the front end of your retirement can really be devastating to the back end of your retirement, because there are so many unknowns in retirement. There are expenses you may not plan for. You may have a health issue you have not planned for. And so giving yourself more time to let that money grow is beneficial in every way. Number 4, you can do the things you want to enjoy in retirement, but with a much lower cost. Let me give you an example. I have some friends who retired and moved to Colorado. She was a hairdresser. He worked for the government, And they have retirement, but her income is what they used to, over 30 years, buy land and build a cabin. They did most of the work themselves. It took them a long time to build this cabin, but they did, and it's near a resort, a ski resort in Colorado. They love to ski. For several years prior to moving to Colorado full time, they rented it out as an Airbnb, and it was quite lucrative because it was completely paid for. They paid cash for everything. But once they retired, she no longer had that income, and he was living off his retirement. So one of the things they did was, in the winter, seasonally, they both work for the ski resort. That means they get lift tickets, which if you ski and you have priced lift tickets lately, they're ridiculous. They get those free. So if you're planning to move to a resort location, or you live in a resort location, maybe you can work seasonally and get some perks. I also have a friend who lives near some high-end restaurants. One of the things she does is they have a busy season during the holidays. It's also the time when a lot of their staff wants to be with their families. So she works seasonally, and her agreement is to take a lower salary for those hours she works, and they trade her several meals a month at the high-end restaurant. She gets to go out and enjoy these wonderful high-end meals. And she also gets some income over the holidays when she needs it to buy gifts for the grandkids, maybe to travel a little after the holidays, which she does a lot. So it's beneficial in numerous ways. So sometimes thinking outside that box, what do you love to do? Do you love to scuba dive? Do you love to sail? Do you love to golf? Golf is a big one. Can you work part-time for a golf club or a golf resort and get your green fees paid or your club membership paid? Those are huge perks for those of us who are retired. And it gives you something really productive to do. You're not draining your retirement income because you're earning a little bit, and you get to go have fun. So think outside the box. Being semi-retired can really have some huge benefits in that way. Number 5 is lifestyle transition, and I've talked about this in a lot of different videos. It is a very different lifestyle in a retired setting than it is in a working setting. That transition can be quite difficult for people because you're giving up all of these contacts at work, all these people you talk to every day, and you immediately, if you're fully retired, you have to create a different set of friends, you have to create a different set of social contacts, and it can be very difficult. Well, being semi-retired for a while allows you to make that transition much smoother. It is really important to have social contacts, to have, groups you're a part of. And if you're semi-retired, you can start exploring those and already be involved in those when it's time for you to fully retire. Number 6 is family adjustment. It can be really hard sometimes, especially for grown children, to adjust to a retired parent. A lot of times the assumption is, well, they have all the time in the world, they can come help me with my life. And you may want to do that on occasion, but sometimes they can really overtake your life. Being semi-retired makes that transition and that adjustment period with your family, with your grown kids, much smoother. They don't expect that you're going to have all the time in the world. You're able to do things for yourself. You're able to also be involved in their lives as much as you want. And by the time you're fully retired, everyone's already adjusted to it. It's not so difficult. If you're semi-retired and you want to move or you want to relocate, again, it gives people time to adjust before it seems so sudden. That adjustment period is often underestimated because not only are you adjusting to retirement, all of your friends and family are adjusting to you having a retired lifestyle as well. And so working on that adjustment period, opening lines of communication about money, about health. One of the things that people really find difficult is talking to adult children about their money situation. But it's important to realize when you retire, that's a big concern for your grown children. They want to know, are you going to have enough money? Are you okay? Can you really do this? And this helps them adjust to the idea that, yes, you're still fully in control, because here again, even adult children can start to think you're a bumbling fool once you've retired, that somehow you're not competent to manage your finances. And so this adjustment period of you being semi-retired gives everybody time to get on board and get adjusted without near the problems as if it were sudden. And the last one, and it's a big one, is the mental and emotional adjustment you go through. People underestimate this tremendously, and I know you have heard about people who have depression and how long that adjustment period is. It's generally 2 years. It takes you 2 years. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. Some people are affected more than others, but giving yourself time to mentally transition and emotionally transition is important, because it will help you not experience that kind of depression or anxiety. You'll have eased into it. All those worries you might have about suddenly retiring, you've already tested those waters. You've already started to travel a little bit maybe. You've already started to join groups that are retired. You've really created this life for yourself. That is what is going to protect you mentally and emotionally from those really low points when you retire. So it really bears thinking about. Semi-retirement can absolutely be a solution. And if you are a couple, you have a partner, maybe it's a solution for one of you to maybe semi-retire a little bit early and do some of the things that you two as a couple want to accomplish before full retirement. Now, the way I did that, of course, was really cutting and lowering my expenses. But let me tell you what, that's been worth it. It has so been worth it. Being able to have my time to myself, being able to start a YouTube channel and do some fun things that I wanted to do, absolutely the most valuable thing. I wish I had done it in my 40s instead of waiting until I was after 50, because I could have. Maybe you can. Maybe your kids can. They can semi-retire and live this fabulous life. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.